we're doing a couple things, doing something specific for Miami, and then we want to bring it out to everybody. From allies, Trinity holders to the the holders of the wheels. So in Miami, we actually want to set up sims. So racing sims in the area there. So for those of you who are looking for a fun vacation in December and want to come join us, certainly welcome at Art Basel in Miami, December 6th to 8th. Would love to see you guys there. We'll have more details about that coming. And at that event, we're going to have a couple of racing sims. So we're talking pedals, wheels, chairs, the whole thing. We're trying to make it really nice to come down and do this race we've all been talking about and really experience it at the highest level. Of course, we're still going to be working on racing after that, so it'll always get better. But I think it'll be a really cool experience for you guys. And in that, people will be able to just sit down and play. And it'll be a really fast, really fun experience of a heads-up racing with leaderboards. After that, we want to obviously take that build and we want to get it to people who can't make it to Miami. We want to take it and get it to the larger community. So in that, there will be absolutely staking your wheel. And then whenever you do that, you'll then get access to one of these two cars that we're developing that are essentially cars of 9 lives, which is our we're calling it kind of like a racing club or a racing guild. I think we're still kind of working on exactly what 9 lives is and how it works. But these are 2 cars from that, and then you'll be able to basically, while your car's staked, be able to race these, pick one of the 2 cars, and then race heads up versus another player in a matchmaking queue. So it's just like a session-based matchmaking, which means you download the build, install it, log in with your n3o, and then you'll be able to basically queue up for a multiplayer match. When we find one, you'll select a car. Then the 2 players will be transported into the world, and you'll kind of be in the car starting a race, and it'll be a couple of laps through this environment, and it'll be basically a race for the top time. And so you'll be able to do that and compete on 3 different leaderboards, including fastest lap, fastest overall time, and most wins per day. Those will be the 3 leaderboards that we have. And you'll be able to race as much as you want with a rematch. And then we're going to have those 3 leaderboards, and we're going to be able to allow you to do another thing, which is a core pillar of ours, which is earn wild while you play. And so top placement on those leaderboards will earn wild. We've announced some details on there. We're going to possibly change that and adjust it to make sure the gameplay is healthy. In our we had a call a couple days ago and had some new ideas on how to do that. But I think it's going to be a really fun thing to get people to compete against each other and to keep playing and kind of see the game we're building. Also, it's important to note, if you're in a time zone or there's no one else that you're sitting in the queue, you will be able to do kind of a solo mode as well, which still connects to the network but allows you to race solo and practice your times. So it's going to be a pretty simple experience there, but I think it's going to be really fun and give people a reason to come back and compete on a daily basis.
Dennis, one of the things that's coming up in the community, and this is what I love about our community, is they read through the content we put out, they think really thoughtfully about it, and then they ask a ton of questions. And so one of the questions that is coming up is, once the testing phase begins, will it be the beginning of season 0, and will rewards be allocated to this? And is the testing phase included in this reward, in this rewards pool once we go live in December?
For sure. So number 1, you still get the rewards for staking your wheel. So that happens. That's not changed. So you'll get rewards for staking your wheel. You will also get rewards for placing on these leaderboards. However, what's important for people to know is that your XP or any type of ZXP that you would get in a normal season won't carry forward past this test. So again, for us, it's as much of a development test, getting some gameplay out there. But in case something goes wrong, in case we want to decide we want to make development changes, in case we want to adjust the game as it goes live, we're not going to be accruing anything that's going to roll over into season 1, 2, 3, in case there's a mistake or in case there's something going on there. And then also, so people don't feel like they're already behind once like a season 1 does come around. So for this, there's still 2 different types of rewards you get for participating, and they'll be just contained to this season 0. Neo, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, I think that was a really good summary. And one of the things I want to highlight, we definitely highlighted this in the devlog, but we probably should have highlighted it more. Is we, even though there is going to be rewards for it within this season, and there's going to be real rewards, we the project Wilder World reserves the right to change those rewards, and so I think it's important that people come in with an open mind and open expectations, because we want to test rewards, we want people to earn real rewards, but we need to, there's things like cheating, there's things like how many players are going to be playing at a given time. We're going to be learning a lot on the fly, and we're going to need to. We've designed the system such that we can change the rewards. Is going to be quite flexible in terms of how rewards can be allocated. So the 50,000 wild a day that we've allocated, that's kind of like a rough number. But depending on data, after the first week, we might learn that, hey, that's too much, or that's too little, or something needs to change there. So this first season is really about making sure the game's fun, really about making sure all of our seasons work, all of our logic works, our multiplayer works, and then we can, you know, really kind of get feedback from the community. And then we have a number of kind of more interesting mechanics and ideas that we're working on that will roll out in subsequent seasons. And so this is very much intended to kind of be the base of a much larger idea, and but it is still technically like an alpha test. Like it's not a full launch. What I will say though is and I'd mentioned this a few times, is the original, when we had originally said, we wanted to release a Wheels alpha, that was intended to be much simpler, and it was not intended to be part of the Wilder World metaverse. It was kind of meant to be its own standalone game. So what we're doing here is we're actually releasing a sandboxed environment. So you're actually going to be in Miami, but what we've done from a development perspective is blocked off a bunch of things, blocked off a bunch of functionality. But you are in the main build, like you're technically in the metaverse. And then what we'll do is, as we can basically unveil features and we can turn certain things on, but we'll do that in sort of a measured way. So it's a much more ambitious release than what we had, like not even comparable to what we had kind of originally imagined from at least a technical perspective, and how the world's actually built.